if you really want to start, attacking for the whole mechanisms for affirmative action, I say, why don't we start looking at the preferences given to legacy students, the children of alumni, because they receive many preferences and, special needs that are not given to everyone. So I say start there.
Yeah, look, I couldn't agree more with that. You know what? I'm skipping the second topic. We're staying on this. Okay. Now, look,
okay.
I don't want people to misunderstand me. So when they say, oh, look at this, they probably got in here because they're white or, black or Latino or whatever they might say, right? Well, how about all those kids whose dad went to Princeton, so they've got a better chance of getting into Princeton? They never say anything about those guys. So I totally hear you on that. But look, and by the way, white people ought to be a little concerned, because when we took away affirmative action in California, what happened? Schools became all Asian. Okay, I mean, keep it real, okay? Not all, but Asians wound up getting a huge advantage out of it. Do you want that across the country? Have at it. I'll see how it turns out. But guys, I'm going to press on this again, okay? Look, at some point, we are unfortunately reinforcing that stereotype in their heads. So,
but why?
Professor Rose, doesn't there have to be
one thing at
a time? Professor Rose, doesn't there have to be some point where we end affirmative action?
Yes, no question about it. To act affirmatively means to decide not through one policy or another, but to find mechanisms to confront the fact that contemporary structural impediments, housing discrimination, incredible educational discrimination, job, unemployment, a wealth gap that is staggering by race, incarceration, that when that is going on, then we know we can't assume a level playing field because it's not even close to a level playing field.
It doesn't exist.
It's an indicator. It's an indicator that we have work to do. And what's happening is, instead, it's becoming this anxious anxiety that somehow it's not that privileges are being reduced, but that fundamental white rights are being reduced. And that's not it at all. There are many progressive whites who understand this. This isn't a divide per se. It's a political divide about, are we willing to confront the fact that we have an enormous amount of work to do, not just about 150 years ago, but work from the last 10 to 15 years. And that's what we have to deal with.
All right, Raul, last word.
Cenk, I want you to look at it this way, okay? Racism, we all agree that racism and discrimination, they exist in society, especially, in terms of access to higher education. Those problems are not going to go away. They self-perpetuate. We do need mechanisms to deal with it. And until we find something better, in the meantime, I do think affirmative action has a role, a very critical role, ensuring that everyone has access to higher education. And that's not just to benefit minorities and women, it's to benefit all Americans.